everybody, this is Echotransformer, and welcome to my very first Shapeways unboxing. So I just received these parts from Shapeways. It's the very first time that I'm opening them since I did the designs a few weeks ago. So we're going to see together whether these designs work or whether they fail. So let's get to it. Have a look here, get my box cutter out. There we go, safety first, right guys? And there we go, you can see Shapeways does a great job padding everything up. We've got thank you and a bunch of text and share it. They want you to share stuff online. They want to make sure you sell your stuff. That's a itemized list of all the stuff in here. And again, lots of, look at this bubble wrap, it's great. So the stuff doesn't get damaged because some of this is fragile. So we've got some parts here and I'll tell you what those are about in a minute. Here, we'll just get them all out. I'll get them on the table. Big bag of parts here. Look at the size of these guys. These are huge. They were, of course, very expensive because they're big, but I'm excited about that bag of parts. And these are going to be really exciting. And this is something everybody's been looking for a while, and I'll get into that one as well. So I think that's everything. And let's look at the parts. Okay, with all the parts out of the bag here, let's just start with this one. So what we've got here is we've actually got a little adapter for TFC Adapter. That's why I actually have one over here. So these parts are made to fill in a more successful, more solid joint in the actual connector here. You can actually see I ripped the peg off mine by accident. It's partially disassembled now, and I did that so I could measure and design and figure out this part. So yeah, that's what these are for. I'm just going to crack them open really quick. This won't be like a pure test or anything, but it'll just give you an idea of how it works. So you can see these are screwed together. I can just snap them apart. And what happens is you can see that we've got a hole here and a hole on this side. And what happens is this fits in there. And then when you pin this all together, instead of this thing being able to wobble around really easily, this isn't going to move at all. It's designed to stay put. And then this connector is meant to be, let's say, a little gentler than what we've seen in the past with the Lyle-Kaiser connectors. So I guess I should say Hades, not Lyle-Kaiser. So here's the leg receptacle, and you can see this is the first time I haven't tested this. Hopefully it works. Should be able to just pop that in, yeah. And looks like it holds pretty well. So, you know, you never know until you test it. But so far that's looking pretty good. There's a little bit of wobble in there, and that's in some of the joinery. But yeah, hopefully this part works out well. So I'll be doing something a little more official for that one. Now I'm not done with Hades. Here's another kit here, and what this one does is something a little bit different. So I've never really been super wild about the sort of hexagonal connectors, or in this case I use the sort of a 4-point connectors, and how they work, how they sort of assemble, and the amount of force that you got to apply. So what I noticed is you can actually disassemble this part. You can take this red sleeve out, and it's a fair amount of work to do so, by the way. But once you get there, you can replace this red part. And this is what this white part here is meant to do. It's actually meant to change that red part for another part. And then what I've got is I've actually got like a keyhole based attachment, which is I think a little more common on combiners these days. So I'm just going to break the sprue. And the idea is with this thing, what happens is you can see the keyhole, right? This goes into the keyhole, you plug that through, and it's tight, so it is going to need some work here, maybe a little bit of sanding. And then you set it down and then you twist, and that's going to lock the leg on. And I'm hoping that creates a much more solid lock than these, you know, sort of funny connecting points. So that's the plan with this guy. And again, we'll do some more testing. Now there are some more parts for him. I had yet another go at him. I actually tried 3 different solutions for the thighs, and this one is very different. So what we've got here is we've actually got like a thigh adapter. And this thing actually is meant to sort of encompass the entire thigh with a new shell. So it's sort of restyled and hopefully just more aesthetically appropriate. So you can actually see there's a few other connector bits in here. These, here, I'll just rip those out. This piece here and its associated keyhole is going to go in there, okay? And then this piece here, okay, this is going to go into your leg. And then what happens is this guy comes along and basically slides over top of this, almost like Combiner Wars style. And I'll need the wheel out of the way. So this slides on like that, and then you've got an entirely new thigh, and it's going to be white. I want mine to be white. Well, probably I'll paint it, you know, sort of this off-white or grayish color. But yeah, entirely resculpted thigh. Let me see. Hopefully it fits on the other side. Yeah, looking good. Looks like, let me just peg it into the hole there. There actually is a hole. Yeah, it pegs in. I'm always nervous the first time I try these, but it looks like it works. So I'm going to be really excited to do this thigh. This is sort of the, you know, the full Monty thigh in terms of upgrading it. And oh, another thing about this is the center line of the leg is here, right, of the thigh, but the actual leg is offset a little bit. So that's going to make his stance, I think, less of an A stance, just a little more stable, I'm hoping. I've done that with some other upgrade kits, and it seems to work well. So I'm going to give it a try with this. Now, here's another one for Hades, and that is, these are actually some foot covers. Now, this is more just an aesthetic cap. And once again, I'm just going to pull these out for the first time and give them a try. And you can see they've actually got some snap fits in the bottom. And I mean, this is pretty experimental. I got to be a little more careful snapping this sprue. It's a little thicker sprue. I'll have to trim these off later. But again, just for demonstration purposes, what's the deal with these? Well, here's the leg. And what I'm going to do is basically just pop that on. Hopefully this works. It does. It's always great when things work. So this is just a slightly restyled foot. And I'll paint that up. Hopefully that'll look nice and integrated when it's painted up. I didn't like the pointed double toe that they did with this. So I thought, oh, let's see what it looks like. I actually, used a vintage Lyle Kaiser illustration as a reference. So that's what it is. It might add a little bit of stability. You can see it does add a little bit of depth. But the big reason for this is just aesthetics. So that's what that part's all about. Now, you guys might have noticed I had a little lift ticket in this video right at the beginning. And I probably shouldn't get too long into the video without showing you this. This is the SureFoot Kit. So what had happened is we had originally struck a deal with a company called DMY Studios to make these in mass volume. And the project just never got finished. I was chasing them all the time, month after month. They'd say, oh yeah, it's coming soon. Yeah, it's coming soon. There was one point they even said there was tooling for it. So gosh, there might even be tooling that exists, but it just never got finished. So I went back and updated the contract and said, hey, can I put this in Shapeways? Because, you know, if when I sign contracts, I put in there specifically that I won't sell on Shapeways. So I edited that. They said, okay. So I've got it up on Shapeways now. And this is an old painted sample that I did. Like, you guys probably saw these a while back. There's Hoist and here's Trail Cutter. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through this kit step by step and show you what it's like, how to cut all the sprues. I mean, hopefully this works. This is my beta test of this kit. But, you know, I built them before. I had to change a few details. Shapeways had to change a few things because of production requirements. So I really wanted to make sure it works. So I'm going to go through this step by step. I'm going to paint it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to paint it for Lift Ticket here, but I'll also show you roughly, you know, how to get the colors for Hoist and Trail Cutter. So SureFoot Kit, that was in the Shapeways box. Now, next up is Constructor, and he's huge. He's hard to fit in the frame. I know why so many people have challenges filming with him. And basically, what I did is I made my own, let's call them like lat fillers. I know there is a Toy World set out there. I actually have a set on pre-order, and they just never showed up. I didn't want to copy their design. I didn't think that would be appropriate. Their design is their design. I did a little spin on it, and I actually, interestingly enough, I referred to their artwork. So although I didn't copy their design, I definitely referenced their artwork. So let me just pull the guy over here, and we'll do a dry fit. Like, who knows, right? Is this going to work? But okay, that was not fun doing off frame, but there it is. You'll see actually purposefully here that I've actually got them at slightly different heights, and that is on purpose. And the reason why is I created two sets. I created a shallow set. This is a shallow one. That's a shallow one. And then I created a deep set. And, you know, I'll probably just offer both. So whichever one you prefer. And that's how they look. So, I mean, again, you're going to get a very similar look to their kit. But, yeah, I wanted to have a go at it myself. Now, at the same time, I did work on some heel spurs for our buddy, well, I'm going to call him Long Haul Burden, I think his name is. This one looks like it got bent in the shipment, so I'm going to have to do a little something about that. And that of course, is a very long snap fit. So maybe that's going to be something I have to look into. But anyways, these go on Burden to give him stability. And I have a version where you can connect them to this. There's actually some pegs here that connect these together. Or if you want to, you can just get them separate. I'll figure out a few different ways to kit them up. But that's the idea, is you can actually attach these to Constructor when he's all built up, if you like. So a couple of options for you there. Now, what about the Smooth Criminal standing in the corner over here? What a beautiful combiner this guy is. And I was just super happy with him. I'm happy with him as individual modes, but also very, very happy combined. Happier than I expected, but he has this horrific lean. So you can see he's even wobbling as I just touch him and fiddle with him a little bit. So I am attempting something here. Again, untested. I have these little fillers, and I'm not even going to try to do these in front of the camera. Well, let me just take them out and show them to you at least. I'm going to get a leg. I'm going to take a leg off, and then I'll put it on the leg. I'll show you how it addresses the issue with the leg. But that's what they look like. So they're kind of funky looking, and they're just a bunch of structure. So I'll show you how these work. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so I've got the leg off, and I'll just first illustrate the issue. I think most people are aware of it, but I just really want to describe it so we understand. So in this portion of the leg through here, there is a tremendous amount of weight applied through this figure. The whole leg's weight goes through literally like 2 millimeters of plastic. So they engineered a fix where you can extend this portion here, but I didn't even install it because I love all this detail that they did. And, you know, there was sort of mixed reviews whether it worked or not. And thanks to the guys over at TFW for talking about it. So let's just get one of these guys off. And hopefully I got the right one here. So what this does is this is going to actually install in that spot. And hopefully it does. Holy cow, it works. So it's actually in. And you can see now it's harder for that area to flex. Now I don't know if this is going to be a cure-all, fix-all. There's still some weakness in this joint. You still have the ankle pivot. That was intentional part of the design. But yeah, I'm going to have a go at this. Looks like actually with ankle pivot, it's popping out a little bit. Now I do have some catches in there. So maybe they're just not seating all the way. You can see there's a little catch over on this side, and there should be a catch up over here. But anyways, let me put these both on and we'll just have a quick look at stability. Okay, so after much fussing, these bits are installed. So you can kind of see it up in here. I don't know if you can see the white, and on the other side. And here's the question. Does it fix the forward lean? A bit. Looks like he's still got a bit of lean to him. I mean, this is just, man, this is going to be a tough one to solve. Now, this table is not the most flat table. He's definitely standing a bit straighter than he was. He's just seems a lot less likely to topple over. So it's helping. But I don't know it's entirely solved the issue. There's just a lot of front weight on this guy. I intentionally made sure I had like the sword in his hand and everything. Yeah, there's still a bit of an issue there. So I'm going to have another look at this. I mean, maybe there's ways I can tweak these parts. It's definitely an improvement. I mean, that's for sure. Yeah, it's a challenging problem to solve. Now, the other thing I made is I made these little things. And what they are is they actually go up in the shoulders just to give them a little more width in the shoulders as an option. I wanted to play with this aesthetically and see what it looks like. So they're pretty straightforward parts. I'm going to just attempt to pop these in. So literally, once again, we're on a spruce, so I can just break that off here. I do actually, you know, here I am doing it by breaking it. I highly recommend not breaking it off, guys. Use like a nice pair of clippers, because, you know, you could damage your parts if you're not careful doing that. But I'm in a rush for the video. So this, again, this is going to be a tricky thing to do on camera, so I'm just going to have a quick go and I'll show you how it works. So step one is to actually like slide the new piece in. And what this lets you do is once you get them both in, you now can get away with, just putting the other piece in there, you can actually get away with installing the whole backpack piece on and not have to sort of shovel this in and out, this whole panel part in and out. I can install the arms on with this back piece on, which is kind of nice. I can easily just pull the arms off. Now, I just had a quick test on the one side here, on the dead end side, and it actually turns out that the fit in here is too tight. So looks like I got a bit of a tolerance issue. It does work, but it's a little on the tight side. So let me just get the other arm on. So here's drag strip. We'll see if he's as tight. He probably will be, but I'll have a go. Yeah, it goes in. It's just not great. So let's just see what he looks like. I mean, I'm just toying with this, right? I love toying with the proportions. What does he look like with a little wider arm? Not bad, right? Not too bad overall. I kind of like it. I mean, this may not be everybody's shtick, everybody's taste, but I like it. I actually prefer it to the default one. I'm going to paint these up black, and I think it might even increase. It'll probably give them just a little bit more mobility in the arms, especially when you're tilting the arms out. So that's probably a good thing. So that's the other part. So overall, that's my Shapeways stuff. Again, there'll be more detailed videos for each of these parts coming soon as I paint them up and finalize them. Thanks for checking out my unboxing video, and stay tuned for more.